I met a gypsy.
The other thing is that in journalism, you cannot confuse what they call the beat writer, who is the dude who goes into the locker room and gets the quotes. That guy is not gnarly ever. That guy is doing what I'm doing. To say, like, in this sport, we have a weakness because everyone's currying favor. No, those sports just have 8 different types of guys. They have Stephen A. Smith, who doesn't talk to a single player ever, who just goes off on him every Monday. But there's also a guy going into the Lakers locker room tonight and talking to LeBron James. And he's never going to say anything bad about LeBron because he has to get those quotes and he has to write that story. They're just big enough to have, I can make a full-time living as doing this.
Yeah.
And you can make a full-time living doing that.
Yeah.
I got to do 5 of those jobs.
Yeah.
So if I want to write a column on Racer X on Monday, putting a rider on blast, but then I got to talk to him on Friday and be like, hey, can you give me some information for the TV show?
Yeah.
But the problem is this
You've
sport,
got to do everything.
Honestly, it's because the sport isn't big enough for everyone. There's not a wide enough pie. No one can make enough money doing one job.
Yeah.
Where you can in the larger sports. So Ariel Helwani can be like, true. This is my lane, and this lane pays me $1 million. So I'll just keep hammering this lane over and over.
Yeah.
I don't need to curry favor from anyone. That's that guy's job, and he makes a living with that.
So that's a good point.
Yeah.
And that worries me.
Yep.
In a sense that, like, if we can't have some figure in our sport that is, like, there's integrity and it's, like, doing a good job of that role.
Yeah.
The problem is some clown on the internet, like me.
There's others.
But so there's some clown on the internet that will say a bunch of fucking dumb shit. And he's going to be right about 50%. And 50% is just going to be fucking ass water.
Yep.
And we're stuck with that dude.
Yeah, and that is that's tragedy.
It
is absolutely. And that is the tragedy of it's like, what is the reason you'd ever want to leak out secret information? That's why.
Yeah.
Because you would tell someone like me or Mathis or you, get this out there, and it would fix the problem.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just left with nothing but speculation.
Yeah.
To be honest, you're speculating that it was the Honda. You don't really know.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop the speculation.
But I've ridden one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Hey, like we said, it's the same. Yeah. That KTM 350, and you said it was an XC?
XCF, yeah.
Oh, it's the same. Point being,
no, you're right.
That when you say nothing, people aren't going to stop trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So then they're just going to guess. Then they're just going to speculate.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage of more transparency. It just kind of douses that flame. Like,
100%.
You want to know what happened? Psh, here's a bucket of water. It's done.
It's like Eminem on 8 Mile. You've ever watched 8 Mile?
Oh, yeah.
Movie? And he just disses himself in front of the dude.
And they're like,
and then the
what am I
guy's
going to do?
I got nothing to fucking say.
What am I going to do?
Yeah, you said all the shit.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think that is kind of, we need someone in that role in a sense, because otherwise it's going to be left.
Mathis is as close as we get. He does get leaks. He was the first one that said Tomac's going to Yamaha, and the amount of times I've heard people say, there's no possible way. There's only 4 people that know that. How could he possibly know? And it's like, that's what you think, there's only 4 people.
Dude.
But somebody's got to make the jersey, and somebody's got to make the graphics, and there's a tire person, and a suspension person, and a blah, 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 and a blah. Next thing you know, now there's 20, and that's what I said. Once you get a large enough group, and that's where that comes from. He's the closest we have to that, where it'd be like, how could someone know that? I'll give you an example. One time, Chad Reed gets hurt in one of his years on Cowie. Oh, yes, 2014. He was riding awesome. Then he gets hurt. And then the next weekend, he's still going to try to ride. And I think it was the guy from Fox who's like, yeah, he's going to try, but if it doesn't work tonight, the surgery is like 6 to 8 weeks. So he tries. It doesn't work. He's done. I say, like, this is going to be it. He's probably going to have to get surgery. He'll be out for a couple weeks. Dude, Ellie Reed lit me up. And she's like, that is not a... Yeah, it's Ellie Reed. Yeah. I mean, she's awesome, but she's got an edge. Gnarly. Yeah, but love her to death.
Yeah.
So she's super mad, and I'm like, wait, I understand where she's coming from. She didn't tell anybody this. Chad didn't tell anybody this. She's like, how could this possibly... You must be making this up. But she doesn't realize there's probably 5 other conversations that are like, hey, what's the score with Chad this week? Well, we're going to try, and if it doesn't work and he has to get surgery, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. 5 other people knew.
Yeah.
So everyone forgets that. So it is happening in our sport, but it is not happening enough. Yeah. It's not happening. So I advise behind-the-scenes people, leak things. It helps. You can get your side of the story out, and it stops the rampant speculation. There's nothing worse then when people are super mad, when people are saying something that's incorrect, but you're not doing anything
to give them correct information.
Right?
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's just going to be people that start doing it, and then they'll get big followings, and then they'll get their own momentum.
Yes.
And it's like, that's probably not good. There's probably a version of that really sucks.
Yeah, you're right, because if you and I are so inside of this that we're not like, we could probably find out what we need to find out. You know enough people, I know enough people. But if you're just a pure fan, if someone puts a video out that says like, Chase Sexton says what's wrong with his bike, and you're just a fan, you're watching it.
Fuck yeah.
You're not going to be like, I don't know if that guy is making that up or not. I better not try. I better not listen.
Because you want to be entertained.
You
Because
do.
you love this shit.
Yes.
You just love it.
So you'll eat it up.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not. So might as well put the truth out there.
Yeah.
And it all goes back to those two things. You have to not care quite as much.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to say we're big time, and that means every once in a while people are going to not like what we're doing, but for the greater good, we got to get people talking.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.